Hi there, it's Brandon again from Seattle Organic SEO's YouTube channel. And one element that I left out in my Quora video that I literally just recorded was some of the actual data or the impact that the site has actually created for our website, or at least my SEO agency. And so just wanted to show you that historically, like how much it's actually contributed. So let's jump into our Google Analytics so you can see how much it's actually generated in terms of traffic. So you can see our site in about 30 days typically gets about 2,000 users. And of those, 2,000 users or so, at least today, Quora generates our seventh largest amount of traffic. So frankly, even though I haven't been doing anything active for a while, it still generates a little bit of traffic to the site, and frankly gives us some benefit, I guess, in terms of all that previous or that legacy activity. Now, if you scroll back, and unfortunately Google Analytics and Google doesn't have legacy data from the beginning anymore, but it does have still a few years of data. You can see that Quora actually used to generate quite a bit more traffic for us back in the 2018 area of time, I guess, or rather 2018 period. And you can see, it was generating at one point, somewhere in the neighborhood of close to 60, 70 visitors a day, or at different times, and a little bit less, on a daily basis, but still a lot more than what it's generating today. And so it can be relatively effective in terms of consistent amounts of traffic. And so how do you do that? So, some people might ask the question as to, how does that traffic actually, come to the site from maybe Quora or from another source? Well, this is what is one of the great things about Quora. But, do note that moving forward, it might be more and more challenging to do this. But if you look at, let's say, our content that we've actually been able to, basically generate, and you can see some of the statistics of us creating content and what it's done. So here we have 24 million views supposedly across all of our content. It has, I think, 4.5 million views in terms of just the content we created. This 24 million does also include, I think, our answers and a bunch of other things. We've generated 16,000 upvotes, etc. But let's say I want to perhaps, let's find which one has the most upvotes or even views. Let's go to views because, frankly, that might give you an idea of what a popular post can potentially do for your site. So this is a question, so that's why we won't, and that's what's probably generated a lot of that. I asked a question that I grabbed from some other place, and frankly, it's generated 15.3 million views. A lot of questions, honestly. This is also a question, but yeah, this one is actually an answer that I generated. So, what unusual things that Korean youth like to do? So there's this kind of funny thing where they literally call dongchim in Korean, where they kind of do. Well, anyway, it's just kind of a funny thing the kids do. Well, what you do is basically, I didn't do it with this particular answer, but in the answer, I addressed it as well as I could, and that's why it's a popular answer, and it's something that's consistently, generates traffic. It's supposedly 416,000 views, or 416,000. Yep. And honestly, what it does is it continuously brings people back to the question. But one thing that I can show you here is, and I don't do it for our site particularly rather, but you can see that there are some links in here. So to Twitch, to Discord, etc. Now, if you're able to integrate that into your answer, and perhaps even to your website in a way that is very natural, that will, frankly, give you a chance to bring over traffic to your site. You might even do it through a multiple set of steps. So here, I point to another post that basically highlights an answer that I had done before, and then I could have literally, and maybe even to today, put an answer here that actually links it back to my agency's blog or to my agency for some reason. I know that I did it with, I believe, a few other posts that were more focused around keyword research or top 10 kind of lists when it comes to, SEO kind of stuff. And so that is what has, frankly, probably generate, like right here, for example. So I used to do a lot of posts around the top 100 terms that exist on the web, and you can see that I identify the source, which is our agency, and so people click through to it here. So if you're able to sculpt these answers in a way where it naturally makes sense to integrate your link into your site, it can help you basically generate this kind of constant traffic. And as you can see, it's quite a bit, 5,448 visits or users since 2018 beginning. Yeah, about 2018. So about over 5 years. So not bad for basically free traffic. So hopefully that shows what kind of impact it can give you or it can deliver. And so just wanted to make sure I provided that detail as well. So hopefully that helps. And thanks again for visiting us at Seattle Organic SEO's YouTube channel.